Welcome back to Turnbuckle Chat podcast. We are bringing you a bit of a sentimental video today. It's also really weird that we're the other way around. It's planned. There's a reason for it. But no, a bit of a different video today. We are going to be having a look at the Never Seen 17, the greatest of all time, John Cena's career. Discussing a few of our favourite moments ahead of his Saturday night main event match on Saturday against Gunther, which will ultimately be the last ever match John Cena appears in, the last ever time he apparently appears in WWE. It's going to be a very emotional day for thousands and thousands, if not millions of people. But we're going to bring you a bit of our favourite. We've got a few moments that we've spoke about previously that we pop into our minds, so we'll just have a short little chat, discuss what he's done in his career, and ultimately look back at what he's done, and we'll go from there. But first of all, David, how are we, mate?
Not too bad. The time is going too fast to Saturday.
Yeah, it's
It's-
horrible to
yeah,
know that
way
we're
too
in the
fast.
final days
Right.
of John Cena's career now.
It is.
I feel like there's still something's going to happen.
Yeah, it feels weird not for something not to happen,
I'll
especially with Cena's career.
I'll give
I'm
it a
not.
shout out because fair play to Matt.
Mm,
You see one of obviously viewers would have seen him on the channel the other week, and he always asks me for a shout out, so shout out to Matt. But he put a scenario to me earlier, and I'll put it to you in a minute. I haven't spoke to you about this yet, so I'll put it to you in a minute. Um, and I listened to what he said, and I was like, if that happens, fucking greatest way anyone could ever go out.
yeah,
So, but obviously,
looking forward.
ultimately, we'll get onto the match first. John Cena versus Gunther. Gunther saying on Raw that he's going to make John Cena tap out. Ultimately, he wants John Cena to give up.
Yes,
Quick thoughts on that?
it'll be a weird way for him to go. And I say that because of how he's been the like I mentioned it in the last video, how he's always had the attitude of never give up and like
Yeah,
the never quit attitude. So I do think it'll be a shame for him to go out that way. But if anyone was going to go out that way, it would be Cena, given the big push to Gunther in the match. And I'm sure Cena would absolutely love to go out that way as well, purely because he's given that credit and given something for Gunther to take away from the match and to
yeah,
actually say that I've made Cena tap out for the first time in 20 years, I think it was when we discussed
yeah.
it last. But
2005 against Kurt Angle was the last time John Cena
yeah.
tapped out. Um, I was having a quick research yesterday about stats with John Cena, and the one
Mhm.
stat that everyone talks about, and there's only really one guy I can think really that was a lot of the time back in the days, finishers were protected.
Yeah.
Now we look at Baron Corbin. Drew McIntyre is to this day the only guy that's ever kicked out of End of Days.
Mhm.
He had a good 10, 11 years with WWE,
Yeah.
and only ever one guy kicked out the finisher. So I googled. I wondered when the first time anyone kicked out of the AA or the FU, whatever it was called, that
Mhm.
2003. So his finisher
Yeah.
was protected for less than a year, and it
Yeah.
was The Undertaker. And I was like, for a guy that's had the career he's had,
Mm.
he didn't have his finishers protected. He didn't get like the swift wind of being given luck. He had to suffer and deal with shit the hard way
Yeah.
to even be given the chance. So, but I'll give you the point that Matt put to me earlier. He said, "What if before the match, John Cena
Yeah.
comes out? So John Cena's going to be the first one out. Clear,
Yeah.
he's going to open the show, as he
Yeah.
says. He'll be first one out." He said, "So John Cena's in the ring. He's got the crowd going. Gunter's music hits,
Mhm.
but there's no Gunter." it pans to a backstage camera. Gunter's been taken out. He said, "Now, if you remember at the one of the Olympics, Chris Jericho returned, and he took out the guy that was carrying the flag, the fire pole,
Yeah.
and it went, and he just took him out." So he said, "What if Gunter's just lay on the floor, and then all of a sudden you see Chris Jericho stood like this in a shadow, his music hits, and ultimately he comes to face John Cena." And I was like, that would hit like crack. Like, that would be such a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it would be. It would.
and I was interested in your thoughts on what we've said over the last couple of days, that we feel like Gunter's going to get attacked. And I've seen a lot of people saying it online,
Yeah.
that they think something's going to happen to Gunter and he's not going to be the final opponent. So,
hmm
what are your thoughts on what they could do with that?
A bit mixed. As much as what I think when he announced his retirement and he's had these big matches, I always thought we might get a big return towards the end. I was personally hoping we might see Edge at some point. But with all the rumors Jericho coming back and what you've just said, that scenario, that is that would be a great, like, massive, huge pop moment, especially to start the show, as what Cena mentioned. Um, I think thinking about it, I think it would be a because Gunther's sort of had his push as well. He's
Yeah,
had his push. He's had the title, and I think that's why there's a possibility for them, for WWE, to actually all move off like that. Like if they're doing it to Jey Uso or it was LA Knight, I don't think they would do that because I still think they've got their, like, another big push. Jey Uso's got another big push in them. But going back to the Usos, uh, no spoilers if you haven't watched Raw. That was a spoiler.
just
Um,
watched about now.
um, and then you've got like LA Knight, who's still awaiting his big push he needs, but Gunther's already had his push, and because of the, like, he is a big, like, heavyweight superstar, I think he can always bounce back from it as well.
Yeah,
And that
and
would
this is
also lead up with a match to Chris Jericho, which again would also be a great match. Both superstars trying to make each other
yeah.
tap out.
I said this. I think I said it in the last video. Was Gunter's a longest reigning intercontinental champion and a
Yeah,
two-time world heavyweight champion. Now,
yeah,
John Cena, in the video when he announced obviously his last opponent and the way the tournament was working, was he come out to a random chance of getting in a match that Vince was like, "Yeah, you'll do, go."
yeah,
Uh, so he come from nothing. He wasn't. He had never wrestled in WWE up until that point.
yeah,
Comes out, makes that statement, and then it's obviously all the key facts of him slapping Kurt Angle, the ruthless aggression
mm,
saying, and everyone's seen the clip of him backstage with the Undertaker after, where Undertaker's like, "You got
yeah,
my respect," kind of thing. And I feel like you want to give someone the same start Cena had, yet you're going to give it to a guy that's been in the business for 5 years, 6 years, including
yeah,
the, not including NXT UK. 5, 6 years he's been in the business. He was a dominant
mm,
NXT champion. He's been a dominant intercontinental champion. He's been a
yeah,
dominant world heavyweight champion. He's held a title for something like 83% of his WWE career.
yeah,
And you're sort of going, but you're giving him the push that Cena had when he started. Um,
mm,
Maybe again, Chris Jericho is another one that is experienced and has had his time in WWE, but you give someone that little push that Cena would want to give, not necessarily to an up and coming talent, but to push someone back into the limelight of
yeah,
WWE and getting that pop. And we all know John Cena likes a good crowd reaction. So
yeah.
um, the other thing that I was put to, and I'm pretty sure it was put to me by Matt again, was what if John Cena taps out and loses to Gunter?
Mm,
Obviously, the crowd are going to boo him and not be happy that Gunter's won. What if
yeah,
then the Miz's music hits? He comes down to the ring angry, starts kicking off that he should have been the last person and rubbing it in Cena's face that he loses. And then the bell rings, John Cena AAs him, pins him, John Cena goes out on a win. But you're giving Gunter a push because you've made John Cena tap. But you're also
Yeah.
not sending John Cena out on a loss. I thought that would be quite an interesting way of doing it as well. That
Yeah. That
would be
is,
something
and
different.
yeah, I think we also I think it's the last time we spoke in our last podcast as well about Cena getting beat, getting tapped out, Gunther walking out, and then we have the Rock music hit,
Yeah,
and then he says,
I've got your soul. You're not done.
I've got it solved. We're not done. I'll see you at Mania,"
Yeah,
and that's the
or,
headline for Mania. Then
yeah. Or
there's a
I'll see
lot
you
of
at Raw
ways
next month.
WWE can play it, and
Yeah,
I just, as much as what obviously we had this the last time now tournament, Gunther's earned his way into the final match, but I think the only way to get around the scenario of not actually having Gunther as the last match, if they were to go and do that, is to make Cena tap, just so it's not just Gunther's defeated Cena, it's that he's made Cena tap. So he's got something to come away from the match with.
yeah. But you mentioned it as well. Gunter obviously retired Goldberg.
Yeah, and that's another thing he's done in his career as well.
Yeah. Does he retire Cena?
Mm,
Next year, does he retire AJ Styles?
yeah.
I read something earlier that apparently Brock Lesnar also may potentially be looking at retiring next year.
Mm,
So could Gunter end Brock Lesnar? And then we start getting a bit like the Legend Killer, but the ring generals just retiring people
yeah.
and clearing out an older generation.
Hmm.
Maybe he ends up retiring Sheamus or Randy and
Yeah.
them kind of people that are a bit more later into their career. So it's you could push it either way. But I just think there's not a lot of action happening on the card. There's only 4 matches been announced.
Yeah.
Now, Saturday night main events aren't normally massive pay per views anyway, but putting Cena on this one, I feel like it's going to make it bigger. So they've obviously
Yeah.
announced now that AJ Styles and Dragon Lee will face Javon Evans and Leon Slater, Sol Ruka versus Bailey, and Obafemi versus Cody, and obviously John Cena Gunter. Oh, sorry. Um, it's late
It's a
here
late
in
one.
the UK. It's a
Yeah.
late
It's a late
one,
one.
yeah. Um, so the card's looking good. Like, I'm quite excited for Sol Ruka Bailey.
Yeah.
To see what Leon Evans and Siobhan Leon, I'm just gonna call him Leon Evans, see what they can do against AJ Lee.
Hmm.
That would be quite a good match. Obafemi, I kind of want them to give him a really good push against Cody, and maybe
Yeah.
have him beat Cody would be really good. Especially
Yeah.
if you're looking at getting the John Cena push, you have
Hmm.
Obafemi, you have Sol Ruka, and you have Javon Evans and Leon Slater win, and you allow full NXT to take the board. Um,
Yeah. I feel like
the,
WWE's being quite protective about that at the moment. Like, the only thing I can think of is the way, if open to him, is Drew McIntyre gets involved. But I think WWE just sort of been playing it safe, and they need to just say, go out, win the match, and like the way Cena did in his career, first big match in WWE, first match on the main card, should we call it,
yeah,
on a PLA Saturday Night Main Event, on the big occasion of Cena's last match, and go out and beat the current champion. I think that'll be a big statement of when he does drop the NXT title, maybe if he
well, he's
holds
just
it till.
gained it back, hasn't he? So it's kind of one of those
Yeah,
where
I think.
unless he does a Kevin Owens, when he comes up to the main roster for a couple weeks,
Yeah,
then lose it like maybe the NXT pay per view in January. But
yeah.
um, unless Obafemi winning turns Cody,
Mm,
because your first promo could be if Obafemi beats him clean slated, he could come out SmackDown and be like, "It's all John Cena's fault." Like, you've given me this
Yeah.
challenge over the year, I've had most, but then you go and put me on the card for your last ever match where it's emotional and all this high stuff, and you've made me lose and start blaming John Cena, start blaming the fans,
Yeah.
and have him have that heel turn that
Mm.
everyone wants. I feel like that could be the good way you do it with
Yeah.
Cody and Oba. Um, Realistically, I don't see it being a straightforward match. I feel like somebody's going to be involved. Either the
Yeah.
Vision or, like you said, Drew McIntyre will somehow be involved. Or maybe
Yeah.
Brock.
Yeah.
That would be a big pop if Brock was to come out. Because I'm
Mm.
assuming that's going to be main event. Obafemi, Cody.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Unless we do get Cena cost Cody.
Mm.
And that turns Cody heel. That the biggest face of all time, his last ever match, has thought, fuck it, I'll get involved in anything.
Yeah.
Maybe we get a Cena involvement in every match.
Mm.
Although on Twitter, I did see a really funny thing that said Gunther's going to get attacked on SmackDown. John Cena won't know his final opponent. His final opponent's going to be Nikki Bella. I was crying, and then someone put in the comments they had John Cena versus Nikki Bella in a backstreet brawl on 2K25. John Cena just absolutely obliterating the daylights out of him. I was like, imagine the scenes.
Yeah. Maybe in the
um,
Vince era.
yeah, maybe in a. I don't know. Randy's RKO'd a few women in the this era.
Yeah. Oh, Arcade and Ajax.
Nia
Arcade
Jax,
Stephanie
Stephanie
McMahon a few
McMahon,
times.
Beth Phoenix.
And kissed Stephanie McMahon in front of while Triple H was handcuffed to the ropes.
Yeah, well, that was great storytelling.
Oh,
Um,
that feud was great. And
we'll
then
save that for
Triple
when
H
Randy
breaks and
retires.
yeah, we'll play that one. Yeah.
But we'll go on to because we spent 20 minutes already talking about the Saturday Night Main
Saturday
event.
night.
Ultimately, we'd like Cena to go out on a win. I can't see him
Yeah.
beating Gunter. Maybe we get a scenario where, even if it is someone like Chris Jericho returns or Edge
Mm.
returns, you know it's someone that could take that loss.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't sit there going, "Oh well, you've brought Chris Jericho back just to bury him." No, you'd
Yeah.
bring him back because of the history. You'd have
Mm.
John Cena win the final match. Then you could have the respect of Chris Jericho in
Yeah.
the ring doing that.
I,
But then you still get the storyline of Chris Jericho took out Gunter, or
mhm.
even if you push in for like a main of not necessarily a main event title picture, but you could always push the storyline that the Miz attacked Gunter, and you get both of them
Yeah.
back in a storyline then, and people think it was the Miz because you wanted the match, etc.
Yeah.
Um, but we got about Saturday Night Main. We'll go on to talking about some of John Cena's greatest moments
Yeah.
that we've put together.
Mhm.
Um, I think the ultimate one to talk about that we both were trying to work out whether to do a top 10, top 15, top 20, top 50.
Yeah.
But we didn't decide, so we decided to bring this down instead. Was both our number ones would have been the Royal Rumble return in 2008.
Yes.
Obviously, John Cena was out injured, had can never say this word, shoulder surgery. It's like a tongue twister.
That
He
is.
had shoulder surgery, was ruled to be out for 12 months.
Mhm.
4 months later, number 30 in the Royal Rumble,
Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden. Triple H's face was priceless.
Yeah.
Obviously, John Cena goes on to win the Royal Rumble, but I remember as a kid, I know you'll come to your bit in a minute where you ran home and you watched it on video. But I ran home,
Yeah.
turned the computer on, Googled the results, and went onto YouTube. Was like, right, Royal Rumble 2008 highlights. And I remember sitting there watching it, and it was going through all the people coming in, and you had people like Umaga come in, and I was like, oh, that's a
Mm.
good person. Triple H come in, oh yeah. I think it was Batista was in there, Mark Henry was in there, some others. And then I got to number 30, and it was John Cena, and I was like, look, I
Yeah.
was jumping up and down in my room, shocked. I was like, great moment just to run back from school and see that John Cena had won the Royal Rumble. Obviously, being at the
100%.
time my favourite, I'd seen my first ever show
Yeah.
in November
Mm.
for my birthday. My brother took me to watch. an episode of Raw in Birmingham, and it was when John Cena and Wade Barrett were having their rivalry, and they had a
Mhm.
championship match in the ring, and we're sat probably up by the stage. And I remember Randy Orton come round and I shook his hand and I was like, oh. And then John Cena come over and I had my John Cena purple shirt on. And he just went to me and just walked off. And I was like, literally in the best mood ever. It
Yeah.
was all time greatest moment of my life at the moment. Well, I've got kids. Can't say that
Yeah.
too much. But wrestling wise, it was one of the greatest
Yeah.
moments of my life. And just to have that moment. And then 2 months
Yeah.
later, he goes and wins a Royal Rumble.
Mhm.
Um, it was great. No, so it wouldn't have been that. It would have been the year before that.
Yeah.
It would have been like 14 months later. He goes and wins the Royal Rumble.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it was one of those moments that I'll never forget. That so definitely
Yeah.
crazy.
It is one of those special moments you look back at. That's the one moment I've. That's why it's on the one. You think of Cena's top moments. That's the one what stands
Yeah,
out to me the most. So 2008, as mentioned before. I think it was. I must have been in the last year of primary school, and I always had from when I was watching it from like previous years because we had Sky and we got it on the box office. We always had this small silver TV tape
yeah,
recorder, put a tape in, press record. My mum used to wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock, stop record, take the tape out, leave the tape there, and it was just different back then because I don't think like there was no spoilers, there was no social media to go online. It
yeah.
was because I was in like primary school. None of my friends had watched it. Everyone was running home to watch it. And it was just when I got home, it was just watched it from the start. Must start about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock having tea, and it was until 9 o'clock, 10ish. And it was just that moment where I knew he was injured, though me and and it was with my mum as well. So this was a special moment for both of us. Um, we weren't expecting Cena at all, as what
Yeah.
everyone else was. So when it hit, I, the screams and jumping around the living room, and then you went on to win it. It was great. It's a
That's what I like
cinematic
watch.
moment.
That's what I like watching about those old moments was
Yeah.
if you watch that clip back and you focus on the crowd. There's
Mhm.
not a single phone in sight.
Yeah.
Everyone's just losing their mind.
Mhm.
He's enjoying it with the crowd and just full on
Yeah.
going crazy himself. And you get a few returns back then. Like I remember, I think it was like 5 or 6 years in a row. You'd always sit there and watch it, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan would return.
Yeah.
It'd be like, oh, and everyone's going on
Yeah.
it. You had Kevin Nash or Big Daddy Cool D's
Yeah.
or whatever he wants to go by now.
Mhm.
He come back, and that was a good pop as well.
Yeah.
Um, and then you look at Edge's return, and as much as I sit there and probably say I'd probably put Cena first, then Edge as
Yeah.
the greatest
100%.
returns for a Royal Rumble. Um, you look at Edge's, and the whole of that aisle have got their phone out. No one's
Yeah.
actually taking that moment. I remember when we went to Mania. It was like a couple photos before the show started, maybe a
Mm.
couple photos when they got the promos on the TV. Like we obviously went for the 39, so it was Edge versus Finn Balor in a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
So it was like getting photos and a video of that coming down. And then I think the only other time I had my phone out was Cody's entrance because I wanted to catch the wall.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was when it all started kicking off. The wall did, and the
Yeah.
fireworks and stuff like that. So it was like, but apart from that, I sat there and I watched every moment because I was like, I'm never going to get to do this again.
Mm.
I'm going to embrace it. And I think Americans find themselves a bit lucky sometimes that they can be like, oh, well, I record this one because it'll come back to my hometown in like 6, 7 months and I can do it again.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't get that. So,
Mm.
um, but yeah, I think the fact that, and the other return that always stands out when you look at that is there's the one Stone Cold Steve Austin return, 2000, I think it was. No one expects it when it goes, and
No.
everyone loses their mind. And he's sitting there going, again, not a phone in sight. No one knew he was
Yeah.
coming. and it makes it so good. And I think
It
that's what
does.
makes John Cena's one so great is no one knew it was coming.
Yeah,
Where it's very hard now for them to hide. Like for example,
it is. There's a
Chris
yeah.
Chris Jericho gets seen in the same place as what if he gets seen in Washington from now until Saturday.
Mm,
One person puts up on Twitter, Chris Jericho's in Washington DC. Here he is, ruined. Everyone's going to see it,
yeah.
and obviously they can't seclude themselves for days upon days. They need to be able to go out for meetings and go out for interviews and
Hmm.
stuff like that. And it's social media is good because you
Yeah,
get to see all the positive sides, but that's where it's the negative that it ruins a lot of things.
yeah. There is. There's a lot of like obviously you've got a lot of rumors, but then it's like going back to the Cena one. No one expected it, and even myself, like there was no social media out at the time, or if there was,
Yeah,
I wasn't old enough to have it in year six. Nowadays, it's probably people do have it at that age, but back then I didn't. I don't think even had a phone.
I don't think I was allowed it till I was 13. It
Yeah,
would have been
no,
what
same.
2010.
Yeah, yeah, same. Yeah.
So
So I think that's one that as you mentioned, that's what it makes it special. And then coming back from surgery that fast as well.
yeah, doctors obviously saying that his body recovers incredibly well.
Mm.
Although I'm going to put it out there, my second point, which I don't know if you agreed with it being so high, but social media didn't ruin the fact that 2023 Money in the Bank, he obviously returned there as well.
Yeah,
And for British fans like myself and yourself, and hopefully the people watching, it's one of those moments where I put it so high because we don't get them kind of pops over here. You don't get
mm.
a big return that you don't expect. But
Yeah,
then it's also the fact of we got John Cena in the middle of London, in the middle of a ring, campaigning with WWE office that we should have WrestleMania 1 year over here.
yeah.
I'm annoyed that it's gone to Saudi first because not
Hmm.
because it's Saudi, but because like we've got a better crowd. I'm not going to flap around it.
100%.
We've got a better crowd, and it's kind of one
Yeah,
of those where I'd like to see us have it, but obviously money talks. It's understandable, but
yeah.
to have John Cena return and publicly campaign for London to host WrestleMania, that's
Yeah,
massive for us because we're sitting there
it
going, "Oh
is.
my god, we're going to get it." It hyped me up, and I was well excited for it.
Yeah.
Um, and again, didn't know anything about that. No one expected
Mm.
Cena to return. You get all the rumors about what's going to happen with the other matches and the
Yeah.
rumors about etc. But no one had John Cena to return. His
No.
music hit and that crowd pop was
Yeah,
mental.
it was.
So I put it there,
It was.
and then obviously you look at crowd reactions as well. And I remember the one famous photo that always stands out for me for John Cena is he wins the undisputed championship before he turns it into a spinner against JBL,
Yeah.
and there's a photo of him in the crowd with the belt like this, people just absolutely losing their mind around him.
Yeah.
And that photo always stands out to me as one of the best because it's
It is.
like the
That's
pure
one of my favorite
passion in
ones.
everything in that photo is pure passion.
Yeah.
And obviously, it was his first world championship win,
Mm.
ultimately, which brought us one of my favorite bouts of all time, the spinner bout, which
My
they
favorite
have
one.
they have campaigned and
Yeah.
oversold thousands of them this year with all the new stars and all
100%.
that. I'll wait for them to
Yeah.
go on eBay next year and get one cheaper.
Yeah. No, I think that's if I had the money, that is my next belt. I really want. I've got the one behind me right there.
Yeah,
Got that at Mania 34, but this spinner belt is one I really want. That is it's my favorite all time belt.
I think I want the spin about, but
Mhm.
now that he's done his final year and we've got all the, I don't know which way my camera's gone here. Now we've got all the themed
Yeah.
bouts versions. I think if I'm getting the spin about, I'm getting the London one.
Yeah.
Um, and I said it to you yesterday that I'd love to have all of them from this year because
Yeah.
what a
100%.
collection that would be. If
It
you
would
had
be.
36 appearances of John Cena to
Hmm.
have every bout that he's had, all 36. Even though I
Mhm.
think WrestleMania might have only done one because it was the same location for
Yeah.
4 appearances. So I
Mhm.
think there's about 25 different bouts come out from what I was reading the other day. You've brought out 25 different bouts, 25 different t-shirts, 25 different caps and stuff like that. Imagine that in a collection in 20 years' time.
Yeah.
Or in the nicest way of putting it, God forbid, touch wood, don't happen all the time. Imagine if he passed.
Yeah.
That would be worth a fortune.
It
Um,
would.
which would be one of those like in the long term. Like that's what you're looking at, like
Mm.
another 40 years until you're expecting that to happen.
Yeah. I think that's what makes this so special about him announcing it and saying that this is going to be a last year. He's going to put his
Yeah,
all into it, and then that's what I think that's what makes it special about him actually saying these are the dates I'm doing. 36 times you're gonna be able to see me in the WWE ring. That's the last time. So I think that's what also makes it so special about this retirement as well.
I am gutted though. After watching the interview he did last weekend, that he offered them 250 appearances and they said no, we're only
Yeah.
interested in 36. Um, I'd have loved to have seen John Cena full time for one last year,
Yeah.
and I think I think personally, if he had done 250 dates and still Saturday Night Main Event was his last day,
Mm.
I don't think I'd be so fussed if Gunter was his last opponent that way,
Yeah.
because he'd have faced so many good people over the year,
Yeah.
and
100%.
maybe we would have got an Edge or a Chris Jericho or something like that earlier. Maybe
Yeah.
we got Gunter earlier, Dom
A
earlier,
lot of
Rey
upcoming talent
Mysterio.
as well.
Yeah, a lot of up and coming. Maybe a couple of weeks that he spends down in NXT. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have been so bothered about his last opponent being Gunter because
Hmm.
we'd have had the full year to experience everything. But
Yeah.
I think the fact that it's been so limited, and then it's we want to do this tournament the same way I started my career, and we've gone like we said, we've got too much otherwise. Um, Against a guy that's already established, I just think that maybe it could have been handled a little bit better. Um,
Yeah.
but saying that, it could absolutely smash Saturday Night Main Event. Something could happen that could shock us,
Yeah.
make it something good. So, what are
I am
the
looking.
go on?
So no, I am looking forward to Saturday as much as what I don't want it to come. I am very looking forward to it because I am
Yeah,
excited just to see. I think there's been so many scenarios put out and we've spoke about a few of them in previous videos and this video as well. It's going to be interesting to see what way WWE go there.
yeah. It'd be very interesting to see if how Hunter puts it, because
Yeah.
um, the one thing that I about Gunter I do respect, did respect, till 30 seconds later when he ruined it, was his promo on Raw on Monday. He started it
Hmm.
with, "I am going to admit it. John Cena is the greatest of all time."
Yeah.
You can see that he does have a lot of respect for Cena. Um,
100%.
and I actually seen an interview that potentially probably ruined the kayfabe of it all.
Mm.
Of someone talking with Gunter, and he said that he's honoured it gets to be him with Cena. It was a um, that was a big honour for him to be asked to do it, and for the faith to be put in him to do it.
Yeah.
And he couldn't imagine it any other way. Like it's going to be great, blah blah. And I just thought there's a lot of respect that people have for the guy.
Yeah.
We've seen it in these. Look, I haven't watched yet the full interview with Tony Ronaldo or
Mm.
Ronaldo, whatever his name is. Um, I haven't watched that full interview yet, but the little snippets that we have been seeing, it's been talking to the superstars. You just know a lot of people love him.
Yeah.
And obviously he's got a lot of respect for people. But what
Yeah.
other moments in his career stand out for you?
I'm going to take it all the way back to the start. 2002, Kurt Angle wanted someone. He
A
stepped up to
red
the
pants
challenge.
John Cena walks down to a ring.
It would,
Who?
I'd think about that. It would be great to see him come out like that tomorrow. Tomorrow, Saturday.
Oh my god! Imagine.
Yeah. The way he started.
Just look at the situation that you've gone from the ruthless aggression of
Mm.
bright red spandex pants, spiky hair,
Yeah.
to jean shorts, baggy t-shirts, ripping people on a microphone is Doctor Thugonomics.
Yeah.
The basketball shirts, the football shirts, the baseball shirts he's wore. And then we got to see the hustle, loyalty, respect John Cena,
Hmm.
and what he's ultimately been for the last 16, 17 years.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's crazy to see how far he's come. But that
It is.
first video, every time I see it, it makes me laugh that it's just like, what's one quality you possess that thinks you're worthy of facing Kurt Angle? And even back then, he had the same aggression. Again, obviously, he's saying ruthless aggression. It's
Yeah.
meant to be angry, blah blah. But even when you see him talk now and he gets angry, he still gets that like in his face. And I sit
Yeah.
there and go, 23 years ago or now, I still wouldn't mess with the guy because he,
No.
as much as he jokes around and says he hasn't punched anyone for 23 years,
Mm.
he's still built like an absolute shit brick, and I ain't fighting that.
Yeah. No.
So
As I was watching, I think I was watching a video of him recently, which just reminded me. Um, it was surprising to actually hear back in 2003, I think it was, that he was actually about to get released.
yeah,
Which it's mad to even think that, and all what happened was definitely heard them rapping on the back of
go,
the bus with, I think, with it
yeah,
Framer's stereo, with it, and some other
some other
guys
one.
at the back of the bus, and then he said, "Yeah, just put it out there, let's see what happens," and then it's literally just flipped his career back into
Literally,
playing into, and then to see, from a superstar to say like, "Oh, do something, change something, you're going to get released," to 25, however many years down the line, who's
greatest
now
of all
broke the
time.
record. Yeah.
Multiple records, even like you
Yeah.
look at like the Make a Wishes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Plenty of different records that the guy holds.
Mhm.
But it's I still the one video that always like love watching it when you look at his rapping career was he gets off a bus and he's walking through the an arena and he's walking through the crowd and there's a guy with a sign saying John Cena, let's have a rap battle,
Love
and he
that
just
video.
absolutely roasts the guy
Yeah.
in the fan. And I think that's what's iconic about him is when he
Yeah.
was this rapper. And to be fair, as much as people sit there and say John Cena never turned heel
Mhm.
properly, not even going to
Yeah.
count what happened this year. Turn around he was sort of a heel character when he was the Doctor of
He
Thugonomics.
was. It was like he was, I think he was trying to portray the heel, but I think
People loved him too much.
it was something new for the fans at the time as well. It
Yeah,
was like a character that they maybe had not seen and what they wanted. Um,
yeah.
so I think that's what, even if it wasn't meant to turn heel or face, he's been loved no matter what version of Cena comes out of the ring. Whether you boo him, whether you cheer him,
But
he's getting a reaction from everyone.
you go off like crowd reaction, and he says it on. Did he say it? He says it a lot about obviously the fans are the most important
Mm-hmm.
people and stuff like that.
100%.
I can't think it was him that said it the other week or someone else, but they were talking and they said that the crowd reaction, even when they're like Cena sucks, he loves it because he goes, "I'm doing
Yeah,
my job correct. People
yeah,
are meant to react to me. People don't have to love me. I'm not here to be
hmm
everyone's favorite. People are going to hate me.
yeah,
Tell me you hate me. Tell me you love me." And then you look at him always like his promos are great. His
hmm
promos always get the crowd going. Like I said to you a
100%.
minute ago, I was watching a video and it was like hot dog, bologna, mustard, and hot dog and mustard or something like that. I can't remember the exact words of what it was.
Oh,
Um,
bologna, fudge, and mustard.
bologna, fudge, and mustard. That's the one. When he stood in the ring, it's him and Sheamus, and the anonymous GM beeps a
Yeah,
computer, and he's like, "My life's being ruined by a computer." But then you've also got the other side where he's very quick on the mark of coming out against the Rock and being like I also don't need the notes on my wrist for my promos.
yeah,
The situation
and
against Roman where Roman
yeah,
struggled with his line, he was like, "It's a promo, kid. If you want to be the big dog, you're gonna need to learn how to do them." Like
Yeah.
he can get the crowd going in seconds. Like I remember that promo against Roman. People were booing him, hated him. He
Yeah.
come out with that line, and the crowd were like, "Oh yeah!" And all of a sudden, it was all on
Yeah.
Cena's favour because he come out and he just roasted
Yeah.
him.
I
Um,
can't. I think I don't know whether it was the same promo or it was around that time. I was watching it on the way home today from work actually, and he said, "I'm still here because I do my job part time way better than you can ever do your job full time."
yeah,
And I think for him to say
he
something
should be
like that
ashamed
to
or something like he says
WWE,
that.
yeah, to say something like that to WWE's next big thing at the time, Roman Reigns, and the reaction he got, the pro, it's just it's
It
I
was a
can't
crazy reaction, but
describe the yeah
8 years later, look
yeah
at Roman Reigns now, though.
that he's had the 1,000+ days championship reign.
Yeah,
He's had two outstanding main events
he is
against
very close to
Cody
that
Rhodes at
being
Mania.
the
He
GOAT of
is.
WWE.
He is.
He never will be the GOAT because it'll always be John
No.
Cena, but he's very close to it, and he's up there
Yeah.
in the top. Like we spoke about it already. Top five of everyone's probably WWE right now.
Yeah.
But you look at that little push, and then the other one that I looked at was um, you sent me the promo the other day with Jimmy and Jey Uso, and
Yeah.
he's like, sort of about being arrested, contested. You look like your mugshots. How did it feel being arrested? And they're absolutely loving it because they're getting
Yeah.
roasted by Cena. Then they bring out Rikishi and like have a like fun time, whatever it is.
Mm.
But then you look at after that, Jimmy and Jay went and had a really good tag team run for the first
Yeah.
time. First, second, third, fourth, 7-time tag champs now.
Yeah.
Again, they've come back together to go for the title run, which they're probably going to get and then retire.
Hmm.
Um, but they went on and then they've had like a really good run after being roasted by John Cena. And it's a
Yeah.
lot of those people had that run.
Mm.
Um, Dolph Ziggler had a situation with John
Yeah.
Cena where they had a rivalry, went on, had a great career. The Miz, as much as people hate him, and I don't like him, but as much as people hate him, had bad promos with John Cena, where where he had all the drama. Really, really good rivalries with John Cena, and then the
Mm.
one promo that stands out for me is when it's him and Maurice. Probably it was when him and Nikki Bella faced Maurice and Miz,
Yeah.
and he said something like he literally roasts the Miz, like absolute grills him, and was like, you took Daniel Bryan's move, you took this person's move, you took that person's move, you took this person's personality and that person's blah blah, and he's just
Yeah.
going on the Miz, and you can see the Miz going, oh shit, like yeah, okay, I've had a good career till now, but mm,
Yeah.
the best to do it has turned around and gone, you're nothing but a wannabe.
Yeah.
So, lot of very good promos, a lot of good matches. Still think one of
100%.
my favourite moments is him and Crime Time destroying JBL's limo.
Yeah.
Um, was it
It's
Crime
great when
Time
you had.
Chop Shop or something like that? They called it.
Yeah.
Um, that was a great segment they did there. Money in the Bank, winning Money in the Bank,
Yeah.
smashing the briefcase off Big Show's head, and
Yeah.
then wins it. And I watched it on replay the other day. He wins it and then hits Big Show 3 more times.
Yeah. His reaction when he wins it as well, he's just holding it because he didn't have to unclip it, just
Yeah, he's like,
got into his hands.
oh! But then he just smashes Big Show 3 times. And I
Yeah.
watched an interview that was like looking at these moments, and he was like, "Yeah, I weren't meant to hit him. He was just going to get down. Like I was meant to unhook it, but I
Mm.
was meant to throw him off."
Yeah.
Um, he was like, "But obviously, I hit him with the briefcase, and it just come off my hands." He was like, "So I just hit him 3 more times, so he was where he's meant to be."
Yeah.
And I was like, just the fact that you thought the match is over, but I'm still going to hit him and
Yeah.
make it interesting.
It's the stuff he can think of so much stuff off the spot.
Yeah, the one
And
thing that I always cautious, and I kind of think it ruins the commentary ruins the match the most
yeah.
is his chairs match against Wade Barrett.
Mhm.
He puts a table over Wade Barrett, very
Yeah,
clearly, clear as Wade Barrett.
and it's not one
Then
of
pulls
those
all
like
the
tables to get underneath the ring as well. It's one of those metal
yeah. Then pulls
tables.
a load of chairs on him, and they're like, "Oh, that's going to have hurt." Why? Bounced off solid
Yeah,
wood table.
yeah,
None of those chairs hit him.
no,
And then I'm pretty sure Wade Barrett spent like 2 months out injured. You literally didn't get hit
yeah.
by a single chair. But
That was back when Broke bought it again about the going off Cena, but the pay-per-view stages. That
yeah,
was the one where we had tables hanging, ladders hanging, chairs hanging, and then Cena holding the all
the
star
chairs.
fumbling that. Yeah.
Yeah. But then you've also got moments where he threw Batista, him and Batista's I Quit match.
Mm.
Batista's like, I quit. And then he's like, screw it. You got to get down somehow.
Yeah.
Silly him off. Um, Not in John Cena's favour, but I also remember Big Show putting him for a big light.
Oh, the big bulb, like the big bulb light. Was
Yeah.
that a Big Show return, or that was during the match, was it?
That was
Was
in
it just
a match against Edge, and
yeah,
Edge,
against Edge, and then
Big Show
Big Show?
returned in John Cena's
Yeah.
favour. Um, but the
Hmm.
iconic side of that is that light is now used in 2K's backstage brawl matches
Yeah.
in the section where it's like the iconic parts of
Hmm.
WWE because it was a massive moment.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, he wins the Rumble again in 2013. Um, a lot of moments we could go on about. I'm trying to think what
Yeah.
else we
There's
have
loads.
broken.
He introduced the US Open Challenge as
Yeah,
well.
that's the other thing that we want to talk about because that's massive now.
Yeah, it
Um,
is.
the
That's
fact that
obviously
he
when we
did that,
first got to see Kevin Owens
yeah, that was
on the
what
roster as well.
10 years ago, 12 years ago, something like
Yeah, something like
that.
that.
2015, I want to say. And the fact that you've got people like Sami Zayn and Ilya Dragunov
Mm.
that are now continuing it. Um, AJ and Dragon Lee seem to be doing some similar with the tag titles,
Yeah, each week.
not necessarily open titles, but picking fighters and challenging every week. So
Yeah,
um, it's a lot of people that wouldn't have probably ever done open challenges
yeah.
that now are. Blake Monroe on NXT this week
Mm.
did an open challenge for the North American Women's title and had the whole locker room come out. Um, but him to implement that first was obviously massive
Yeah.
for the WWE.
No, 100%. Great.
Obviously, five-time United States champion. I think it might be 6 times, 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
First time he won it, he brought out a spinner US title,
Yeah.
and then he brought out the spinner WWE Championship.
Mm.
Um, and then obviously, I read something the other day. He held the undisputed, the big gold, the spinabout, um, the scratch logo,
Yeah.
and the new style WWE World Championship belt. The only belt he hasn't held is the new style World Heavyweight Championship.
Mm.
And he's held every World Championship and every different style of World Championship since I think something like 1995.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
sorry,
it's
that's older than me. He's had every belt they've had.
yeah. It's mad, but he's got such a decorated career.
Yeah. Obviously now a Grand Slam champion as well. Tag team
Yeah.
champion with Shawn Michaels.
One-time IC champion.
Did
Yeah,
he
no,
win
it's
the
great.
tag titles with someone else, or did he only ever win them with Shawn Michaels?
He won them with I'm gonna say David Otunga. Is that the name? From the Nexus?
When he joined the Nexus?
Yeah. I think oh, I'm let me I've got my laptop here. Was it David Otunga? Oh, am I making that up?
David
Yeah,
Otunga
David
Roots.
Otunga. He won the championships with tag championship with David Otunga. David Otunga,
Yeah.
I think, spent all the time outside the ring, and Cena won them single handedly. But then at the end, David Otunga came in and held both titles up, celebrating with both titles as if to say he won it. Gave the one title to
Yeah.
gave one to Cena, and then it ended where Cena AA'd him and basically just held the two titles up then and walked off with the two titles.
But a very, very good career that we will be
Yeah,
live streaming the final match of.
yeah. I hope actually think about it as well because we have had some iconic Cena entrances as well,
Mm,
especially the 25 where you had the row of Cenas all the way
yeah.
down doing the "You Can't See Me." I'm hoping to see a iconic entrance for his last one.
Well, he had that one with all the
Mm.
people. The year before, he had the
Was it
um,
the band?
no, it was the one where CM Punk's in the entrance, and they've all got like the guns and they're like the Secret Service people.
Oh yeah,
There was that one.
yeah,
The one I said to you about the other day was his 2006 Royal Rumble entrance,
hmm
where he's up in the sky on the
yeah,
what was like the TNA X Games arena up in the ring
hmm
in the air. He was on that. So that was an iconic one. WrestleMania, where he come 24, I think it is, where he comes through in the car
hmm
and the Shelby smashes through the glass. That's an iconic one.
yeah,
He's had a lot.
yes,
Even SummerSlam this year, having that the dark black, and then as the beat
yeah,
hits, all the color, which obviously
yeah,
he's kept hold of now until now.
yeah,
Again, iconic as well.
hmm
Um, was very interested to learn that he's always done the salute on his entrance,
yeah,
and it was always different. But it was something like 2013
hmm
when he started running to the ring.
ah,
I watched a video the other day that was every WrestleMania entrance that John Cena's
yeah,
had. Um, and it was like 2013 was the first time he ran to the ring
yeah.
and made it a
Wow.
consistent thing. And I'm sort of like going, I've always known him to run to the ring.
Yeah, no, same.
Gives a salute, runs to the ring. No, he
Yeah,
used to come out, give a salute, and by the time that it says, I'll drop your crew's ass for the 3 second count, he's usually in the
yeah,
ring. And
mm,
nowadays we're like, it says that, and he's still like on the left hand side of the crowd, like high fiving people.
yeah,
Uh, his entrances used to be really like, literally just come out and walk.
mm.
And
Wow.
the other memory what I had was it the 2005 draft, 2006 draft? Chris Jericho called him out.
First time in Raw.
Yeah, draft
Yeah,
lottery, and he's the first pick. But look how
mm,
quick he gets to the ring on that one as well. He just walks
mm,
out and goes because.
yeah,
And I was like, I've always known, like for as long as I can remember, this guy's always come out, saluted,
yeah,
ran to the got well. Recently, he started talking to Stu behind the camera, but he's always come out really excited, pumps the crowd, does his salute, runs to the ring, and then does his fingers in the air. And that's how I've always remembered it. But then I was watching this video back and I was like,
yeah, no, same.
I watched that live. I don't remember it ever coming out like that. I watched that
hmm
one live. I don't remember it coming out like that. It was a really weird
Yeah,
thing to watch. Good video to see all the different style entrances that he's had.
yeah,
Um, but I can imagine something big. But at the same time, I can imagine it not being big, him just
yeah,
being
same. To be fair.
a basic entrance,
Hmm
um, and keeping it like that. But no,
Yes,
we will be live streaming. We'll
100%.
be hopefully joined by Matt as well. So there'll be
Yeah,
yourself, myself, and Matt.
hopefully, fingers
Live
crossed.
streaming Facebook,
Yeah,
YouTube, and Twitch.
hopefully, one of our next top 10 videos we're posting out weekly. Potentially, we might be together in one video.
Yeah, I was just going to get to that. So next
Yeah,
Wednesday, we are going to the dark side of wrestling. We
yeah,
are going to watch AEW live.
hmm
So we will try and get as many photos as we can,
yeah,
as much footage as we can whilst we're over there. Um, Hopefully, we're not in great seats, but we might get moved because it's not really selling out.
yeah,
Um, but hopefully, we get some good matches. There's a battle royal planned. I know they've announced that, so it'll be interesting to see if we get any good entrances there and try and catch them all.
yes,
Let's see what's going on. But we will, yes, potentially bring you a top 10 live, not
hmm
live, but top 10 together
yeah,
rather than sat separately like this. So it'd be a bit of a different video.
yes,
Um, and then obviously we've got the Christmas period coming up. So um, I think we will potentially be looking at taking a break from doing midweek podcasts during the Christmas break, because we normally release a video on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Christmas Day, as you may know, is on a Wednesday. I love you all, but I'm not doing a video on Christmas Day. And I'm not sitting spending my time faffing. I've got children that I want to spend time with, but we may take a couple of days off, or maybe a video or two off for around Christmas. Obviously, we're wishing you all a Merry Christmas anyway. But then we come into the new year, where we start looking ahead to the 5th of January for the first Raw back. 1 year of Netflix, which can be very interesting. But
Yes, and then all of a sudden we are on the road to WrestleMania before we know it.
We are at Saturday night main event the week before Royal Rumble going. Oh my God, the Rumble's next week, which we'll be together for that as well.
Yes.
You're going to come to my ends that time, so you can experience Birmingham, unfortunately. And then we're on the road to WrestleMania, and then it's all about getting us to Vegas. So,
hoping to win the lottery by then.
Hopefully win the lottery and we'll all be there, We'll just move over to America and just year tour of every WWE show. We'll green t-shirt guy it for a year.
Yeah. What a year it would have been if it was this year we won the lottery. Not that saying we're going to win it, but imagine every appearance we've seen it.
That would have been incredible.
Yeah, and then with the money we probably would have got the titles as well, each title.
Oh yeah, I'd have brought merch at every show.
Yeah.
I'd have had the socks, everything.
Yeah.
Socks.
Dressing up and seeing it each time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go get the headband, the armband, the lot. Oh,
we can dream. We can dream one day.
I'd have my jorts on. I'd have my Reeboks on. I'd pump them up. I'd full on front row green t-shirt guy. You're gonna see a new Cena every game, every match.
Yeah.
But no, we also appreciate you all following. Don't forget to check out all our videos on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Instagram. Check out our TikTok. We've started sending some videos over there. There'll be a few going out over the next couple of days about John Cena's retirement, so keep your eyes out for them. We're also going live tomorrow. So I say tonight, because it's going out Thursday. We'll be live tonight doing our GM mode, so make sure you check out that. Where it's me and Matt, and then we've got you and potentially Lewis. Work something out. Maybe you and Lewis could start one, and we've got one, and we could compare it after the first season, whatever. But we've got a lot of content going and a lot of content going out. So make sure you keep your eyes open, and we'll see you later.
Yes, we will.
Cheerio.
Promise you you'll catch me.